Hey YouTube, it's Olympus Reptiles, and today, as you can see, I'm not dressed like normal. That's because we're making an unplanned video. Well, that's a half-truth. You see, I'm not going to be dressed like normal for a few videos, and the truth of the matter is, we combine film day and feed day, and I was just too damn lazy to go change clothes. However, we did find we have a set of eggs, and anytime we have a set of eggs on film day, we always pull them on camera, and this is a very interesting set of eggs. I'm going to show you this female and tell you why in a minute. The pairing, we'll start with that, and I don't know how many eggs we got. I know there's at least one good egg in there. We kind of peeked at that and stopped. It is a pied female bred to a black pastel axanthic. So what we're looking for is some black pastel stuff that's double het axanthic and pied. Why? Well, it's time to get in the lightning pied project. And also, everybody likes, black pastel pied stuff. So there you go. That's the point. That's what we're doing there. Here's the thing. Today, as we live and breathe and film, and I'll prove it to you, it is, see that 6? It is May 6th. May 6th. So we're already past May the 4th. May the 6th is where we're at. This female's pre-lay shed was March 10th. Now, if you're doing math, that's over 50 days, and anybody else is going to tell you, oh my God, it's egg bound, go to the vet, yada, 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 yada. I have had egg bound snakes once, actually twice. I had a carpet python way back in the day, and I've had one ball python egg bound on me. This snake never went egg bound. We never took it to the vet. We simply monitored its condition, kept an eye on how it looked. Everything was kind of slow processing, and we just were patient and we waited. And lo and behold, we're going to see if we're rewarded. She's a first-time female, and I will talk about this after we pull the eggs. I will tell you how I knew she wasn't egg bound and why I wasn't worried about it. But first, let's get her off those eggs if we can without getting lit the hell up. And then we're going to go over to Patreon, which if you're not a member of, you should join so you can buy, sell, do all that stuff. Ugh, almost got that way out. So she's not going to have a very big clutch, it doesn't look like. I see 4 at least. Don't you bite me, little girl. As you can see, she's empty. We do have 4 eggs. So let me set her here for a minute. We'll talk about her. So she looks great, looks nice and empty. Here was the thing. When we were watching this female, when I was watching, see her ribs there, is overall, which is normal after they lay, okay? That's not anything to worry about, and that's what I'd expect. If I wasn't seeing something this skinny right now, I would be worried she still had an egg in there. What we were really watching is her body condition along, she's hissing at me, along here. And we could see that the spine was elevated, like you see now. It's going to go away very soon now. And that the ribs are starting to push out. Those eggs had not moved. Nothing had gone into position. Nothing was struggling to lay. She wasn't overly large. She wasn't overly uncomfortable looking. We just checked her every day. Now, had those eggs gone to the position of the tail and she not been able to pass them, then we're egg bound. Have we looked into the here and we're looking swollen and uncomfortable looking, not like a normal one, like this, she's so big they should have come out already. They should have been there. They're definitely fully developed. We would have been worried. However, she didn't start to have that look like she's close to laying until very recently. And so then we're like, okay, if I don't see something out of her in the next X number of days, then I'll be concerned. And lo and behold, I actually didn't expect her to lay yet. I figured it'd be 2 or 3 more days. And well, boom goes the dynamite. We have more pied eggs. So really, the body condition of your snake will tell you all kinds of stuff. So if you keep an eye on how your animal's doing, is much more important than the mythical clock. We always talk about 30 days, right? After these things are pre-lay sheds. And that's a really good rule of thumb. It's not hard and fast. This is probably the longest I've ever had.
So I had a question.
Sure.
So if she went egg bound and you didn't catch it and she stayed like that, could the babies hatch inside of her and be like the movie Aliens and pop out of her?
Well, it's hard to say anything's impossible. I would say the probability of that is very, very low. It'd be kind of cool to see, but no, they're not going to hatch, so they're going to rot. And when they start to rot in there, because they're going to die, then they're going to rot, and then they're going to cause a lot of problems for her. You also can run into problems where she won't be able to produce again. If they adhere into the insides of her, which is a death sentence, or it's a major expensive surgery that is going to result in her being infertile, typically. So that's why you do want to keep an eye on that body condition. Let's see if we can see veins. I don't know if you can see on camera very well, but they're right along there. So a big, nice one. See, there's a yellow part. There's a red part. That's got veins. That's got veins. That's got veins. I'm sure this one does too. Whoa. Now see this one here. Let me turn some lights off for you. It's fertile. I promise. I can see it, but this is a great example of something you'll see with eggs. Although Kurt's got the bright film light on, so I don't know if that's going to help me at all. See how it kind of lights up here? You see that dark spot? Part of what it is where we're seeing just isn't a good area. If you come up here, there's veins, and if you can see all along that back wall, there's actually a really good vein network, and it's really adhered. So this is a good egg. But if you just see that yellow light, you don't see that dark spot, then you'd have to worry a little bit. Turn that back on, not that it helped at all. And we are going to set these eggs up. Also for May the 5th, we are now at
May the 6th.
May the 6th. Yeah. 12 eggs. Not 12 eggs. We have 12 clutches, I should say. This would be our smallest clutch of the year at 4. In case you've never seen this before, these go in an incubation tub like this. I'm also going to blow your mind in about 2 seconds. So this, I'm probably going to have to remove that top egg. I'll show you why. Get that all nice and dry. When you put your lid on, I prefer clear lids. See how that's touching? I could push that down and close it, but as condensation builds in the lid, it's going to absorb that egg and probably kill that egg. So we need to remove that one really, really fast. We're going to leave the other 3 stuck together. There's no reason to separate all these guys. None at all. We're also going to, ooh, these are adhered really, really good. So change of plans. I'm going to leave these 2 together and these 2 together, but I'm going to get this so I can rotate it just a little bit. That little bit of rotation should be just fine to get it to not hit the top. The reason for that is how adhered these are, a higher chance of ripping and destroying the eggs. So I don't want to do that, obviously, and I already have one strong adherence to remove where I had a little one the other way. So what we'll do is just slowly work with our fingers, slowly work, slowly work, slowly work. Slowly work. If it gets difficult, stop and work a different direction. These are glued together naturally to help the mom keep them coiled, keep them together. Which means they're not supposed to come apart. So we're violating some of nature's rules here. Oh, there we go. So see, no leakage, we're good. That is definitely a thinner spot in the egg. So we can get like this, and we're still going to have the right things up for the most part. We can put that there, no touchy. Awesome. We are going to brace it just a little bit because with time, these are going to shrivel, dimple a little bit, do weird things. And I want them to, these aren't going to roll around, and these shouldn't roll around, but these are balanced on those a little bit. So what we're going to just do is maintain just a little bit of pressure back here, just to keep them all together. And I'm going to do the same here. This is probably overkill, but that's how I like to do shit. So, my channel, I get to do how I want. All right. Ready for me to blow your mind? If you look, I'm going to tell you something, and there's going to be people scream at me for this. We were talking about it upstairs before we even came down here. This tub is missing something you often see in the incubation tub, and that would be something to measure the humidity. You want the humidity of your eggs to be 99%. That's what you want as high as possible. So why don't I have something in there? Well, see, when I first started, I would do that. I'd put a gauge in every tub, and I would check it constantly, and I'd make sure I feel good about it, and we were always running good. And then, as I didn't really want to buy more gauges, and they were all running at 99%, I'd put some gauges in a few test ones, you know what I mean? And they always ran good for years. Our hatch rate's very consistent at about 95%, which is pretty solid. So now, I know how to set my incubator. I know my humidity is going to be fine on my incubator and how to set it, so I don't do that. Now, we are about to get a new incubator because we're going to be out of space. In that new incubator, because it is equipment I'm not familiar with, you're going to see me go back to putting some hygrometers in a few of these just to test out and make sure that that incubator acts the same as my current incubator, because in that one, I may not hold humidity as well. I may have to adjust what I do. But in the current tools I have, there's really no need for me to stick a gauge in there to tell me some shit that I already know. So I don't. But do that at your own caution. It's an experience thing. And, you know, I would suggest if it's your first few clutches, put something in here to measure humidity, you know, until you trust your equipment, trust your tub build, know what you're doing, know what you're looking for, know what you can eyeball. I can adjust it from looking at it, and I do occasionally, like my carpets had to put more in. Larger tubs, I have to add more humidity to, more frequent. Smaller tubs, these I typically never have to touch once I put them in there. I will touch them every now and then just to check them because it's fun. Kurt, any questions?
No.
All right, guys, we're going to put clutch number 12 up, write it on the big board, and I guarantee you this week, I shouldn't guarantee anything because guarantees always screw me over. I do think this week clutch number 13 will be out as well, and we're just going to keep this thing on rolling. All right, thank you guys. We'll see you next time.